So maybe it was a few months of not sleeping because of all of the craziness after Tiger King. But this is another case of me having one way to say things and Howie having another way to say things. June 2, 2020. How to manage our fans and the press. I woke up this morning to a flurry of emails, calls, and texts from our fans and the press wanting to get a statement from us on the rulings yesterday. Howie worked until 1 a.m. and then had a hard time waking up this morning. I was impatient because I know how people will try to turn this against Big Cat Rescue as the big meanie that displaced hundreds of animals at the GW Zoo in its greedy zest for collection on Joe Exotic's debt. I wrote the following, but Howie wants to minimize it. So this is my version. Big Cat Rescue versus Greater Wynnewood Development Group, case number CIV 16155 SLP. The order issued on June 1, 2020 by Judge Scott L. Pauck in favor of Big Cat Rescue was fair in that it recognized that Greater Wynnewood Development Corp. LLC and Greater Wynnewood Exotic Animal Park LLC had no real interest in the property previously known as the GW Zoo. These entities were constructed by Joe Schreibvogel Maldonado Passage, aka Joe Exotic, and others to evade collection of the $1.1 million debt he owed Big Cat Rescue. Even his own mother, Shirley Schreibvogel, testified against him in favor of Big Cat Rescue and was previously released from the lawsuit. The real question, now that the current occupant, Jeff Lowe, has been ordered to remove all of the animals from the grounds and turn over the land, buildings, vehicles, and other assets is, what will happen to the animals? The animals were never assets in the court case because they are a financial liability and were not considered to be value that could satisfy the debt. Even if they had been, giving Joe Exotic an excuse to dump all of the animals that were no longer creating income for him so that he could start over by breeding and buying more cubs was never going to end the abuse. Despite the lack of financial value of the animals in his possession, they have always been and always will be the primary concern for Big Cat Rescue. Just like every other lion and tiger mill who profits off the cub handling industry, we believe they will abandon the animals as soon as they can no longer profit from their excessive breeding and exploiting of the cubs. Big Cat Rescue is accredited by the Global Federation of Animal Sanctuaries and is a founding member of the Big Cat Sanctuary Alliance. As such, we are in close communication with all of the legitimate big cat sanctuaries around the globe and have close relationships with all of the major animal protection groups, such as PETA, Tigers in America, IFAW, HSUS, and others. USDA, who has the authority to step in and seize the animals if they are abandoned, has been put on notice of the potential risk. There are safe and secure homes available for all of the animals who may end up abandoned as a result of the court's fair and just ruling. As for collecting on the debt, Big Cat Rescue will work with the animal protection groups and accredited sanctuaries to make the transition for the animals to their new forever homes as stress-free as possible, if Jeff Lowe, the person in possession, chooses to relinquish them. Should he choose to use the legal system to delay action or to begin selling animals or to go on the run, it is our hope that Lauren Lowe will come forward with what she may know about him that may give her and her new baby daughter a clean start. So what I'm going to read next is what Howie allowed me to post and send. I had to get him to add the paragraph the next day, on June the 3rd, about why we didn't get the animals after Robert Moore queried him twice about it, and I explained that all anyone cares about is why we didn't get the animals. He called it Oklahoma judgments. On June 1st, 2020, the federal court in Oklahoma issued a judgment against an entity controlled by Jeff Lowe, in part on what the judge described as willfully failed to comply with one of the previous court orders and, quote, other failures to obey or respond to the court's orders in this case, unquote. The ruling requires the entity to vacate the property within 120 days of service of the judgment, including removing the animals. In an agreed judgment in August 2019, Shirley Schreibvogel acknowledged her role in multiple fraudulent transfers, some of which involved the entity controlled by Mr. Lowe. For that and the current rulings, see bigcatrescue.org/agreed. As we have pointed out many times, tigers have no economic value once they are too big to pet, so they are not assets that Big Cat Rescue could seek to obtain ownership of and move to better homes in our legal action to collect on our judgment. We wish we could have. Over a year ago, Mr. Lowe announced plans to move the animals to a location in Thackerville, Oklahoma, that he has been constructing, and he claims will be a better facility. He recently stated that he has funds to complete the zoo and a contractor who could complete it in a few months. If the need arises to make other plans to place the animals in new homes, Big Cat Rescue and the animal welfare organizations that have previously successfully placed big cats from large facilities in new homes stand ready to assist. Below are copies of the court documents which speak for themselves. We are not posting any further comments at this time. If you're enjoying my diary, please like, share, and subscribe. You can find other ways to connect to me over at bigcatrescue.org/Carole.Baskin.